Hey folks, welcome back to another Dice Tower preview. I'm Mark, and today we're taking a look at Smash Up, the Disney edition, which is brought to you by the app. It's for 2 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, and games generally run about 30 to 60 minutes. Smash Up is the shuffle building game of total awesomeness. The game begins with a simple premise. Take the 20 card decks of 2 factions, shuffle and mash them up into a deck of 40 cards, and then compete with your fellow players to crush more bases than your opponents. Each faction involves a different gaming mechanism, and each combination of faction brings a different gaming experience. So, in this new version of Smash Up, the Disney edition, you will choose 2 decks of fan-favorite Disney characters, or factions, and combine their powers to take over bases. In this edition, you will choose from Frozen, Big Hero 6, Wreck-It Ralph, The Lion King, Mulan, Aladdin, The Nightmare Before Christmas, and Beauty and the Beast, which combine to make 20 possible decks. Counting all the Smash Up sets to date, there are now over 4,000 possible faction combos. Fantastic. Mix and match factions to suit your playstyle, all in an effort to create the most exciting team-ups imaginable. Gameplay here is very straightforward. During the game, base cards, each with their own difficulties and abilities, are at stake. By playing cards from your hand, you try to have the most powerful set of minions or cards played on a base. Your goal is to bring the power, enough power, that you reduce the base to its breakpoint. When this happens, the 3 most powerful players on the base score points. When one player has reached 15 or more points at the end of a turn, they are declared the winner. So that's the game in a nutshell, but let's take a closer look at some of the cards and what's new. So this Disney edition includes these base mats. Now, these are fantastic for just getting a glimpse at the table to see where the bases currently stand and how much more power is needed to defeat them. You've got the markers around the side showing the current power level and the breakpoint level of the base. You hope to knock that base out and get the maximum points first, second, and third. And each of the bases are going to, again, have their own special abilities and powers, all very thematic to this Disney edition of the game for sure, just like all the bases that came before in other versions. But they do add a lot of flavor to what you're doing and how you're attacking and how you're playing against these bases. Some just allow you to do certain things when you score, others give you special ongoing abilities as you continue to attack that base and so forth. So the nice thing though is that you hope to have the most power here, so you get first place and get the most victory points, and second and third and so forth. But these mats really do add a lot because you can just see at a glance at the table. No more calculating to figure out where the bases currently are. You can just quickly see where they are and jump on whatever base you need to in order to score points. And then you have power boosts in the games. And on the back side of your scoring tokens, you'll see these purple pluses for putting point values or power boosts onto the cards when they call for them. Some of the cards are going to allow you to put a +1 based on certain criteria that it calls for. Maybe every character you add to a base gets another +1. There are all kinds of traits and different things that allows you to do these with talents and so forth. So these power boosts add a lot, and the way you can track them now is really handy. I like this aspect a lot. A lot of just nice upgrades to the game in general that I will be using from now on. So this is definitely a quality of life kind of thing where this game comes into play. I really like those aspects. But let's take a closer look at some of these decks. So these Disney decks are very thematic to the movies and characters they represent. They did a really nice job here. And if you're new to Smash Up, the thing about this is that part of the fun is diving in and just trying decks out and combining them and see how they work. And you don't have to really know a lot of rules up front. There's clarifications in the rulebook if a card doesn't make sense. But in general, cards are just going to tell you what they do right on the card. And on your turn, you're going to be playing a character card, and you can play an action card. Action cards are going to augment characters in some way or just help you. But some do stay in play and have ongoing effects. Characters, though, are going to stay on the base, and you're going to use their power levels to attack that base and get to that breakpoint. So you hope to have the most power on the base so you get the most points when you do break it. And that's really the key. That's really all you're doing. So all the cards are very self-explanatory. And the decks that I did combine, I didn't obviously do all of them, but I did do the Lion King and I did Aladdin. That combo worked really, really well. Now, some of the individual cards from here are super thematic, like the Genie. Genie allows you to have wishes. You go look for the wish card, and when you put the wish card into play, you have several options here. But the interesting thing is that just like any good wish, you get to wish and then it's gone. So that card is then out of the game as you play and move forward, but there are multiple wishes as you'd expect. And then you have Mufasa from The Lion King, and Mufasa is super powerful with a 6. And what's also interesting, thematic to the movie, once Mufasa is removed or put into your discard pile, he becomes even more powerful, augmenting other cards that you put into play, giving you even more power and options and things you do. Again, using those markers to show when you get power boosts and so forth on the different types of characters and cards that you put into play. So the different mashups that you can combine here are really interesting. One that I found that was really an interesting mix was Mulan and The Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm still not sure. I want to go back and try that one again because that combo was definitely interesting. And if you're new to Smash Up, some of these decks are going to be easier to play than others. They all have nice, clear instructions about what kind of deck they are, and they show exactly what their difficulty is in playing them. Also, again, if you have the big Smash Up box, the big box to put all your Smash Up cards in, I should say, they have the nice colored hard dividers to put your cards in and organize things really well. So they did include that again, which is ongoing for sure with all the different sets. So they've really done a nice job. And again, your main goal here is to mash decks together and hope to be the player that gets the most victory points. 15 will make you the winner. All right, folks, just a reminder once again, this has been a Dice Tower paid preview, and everything you've seen here is done and published. This game is ready to go. If you're interested, definitely go off to the Ops website and check it out. But in general, I have to say that, Smash Up has always been a family favorite of ours. We've played it so many times, and I can't wait actually to combine some of these Disney decks with like Marvel and others that we have. That'll be a lot of fun. And just the fact that you mash up the impossible combos and different decks with just things that would never team up is just part of the fun of Smash Up. Literally in the name, Smash Up. But folks, ultimately, if this looks like something of interest to you, I'm sure they'd appreciate your support. So I think that's it from me, and until next time, we'll see you at the table.